So today we have come up with another interesting topic about which we will see in detail in this session. So come with me, let's learn together, yes? So in last session we spoke about electricity, right? So where does this electricity come from? It comes from the generating stations through transformers, then to our houses through wires, and then finally we use it in appliances like TV, light, fan, everything, right? Suppose consider there is a power cut. Now I'll not be able to see things around me, right? So if I want to see things around me, I'll use an alternative called torch. Yes? So how is this torch able to provide us with light? Have you ever wondered? I haven't connected it anywhere, right? But still it gives us light. How is it? It is because of an important thing that is present inside it, which is nothing but a battery. Clear? So a battery is the one which provides electricity that makes the bulb inside the torch to glow. As I already told you, a battery doesn't create any charge. Instead, it creates a force called potential difference or voltage that makes the electrons to move in a particular direction, thus causing the flow of current, and that is why the bulb in the torch was able to glow in the presence of a battery. So what is the role of a battery? It creates potential difference. Now clear? Let us have a detailed look into a battery. A battery consists of three important parts: a cathode which is positively charged, an anode which is negatively charged, and an electrolyte which is a chemical inside a battery, mostly in liquid state. Okay? So always remember, this cathode and anode is just opposite in the case of electrolysis process, where their cathode is negatively charged and anode is positively charged. Here, in the case of battery, you have cathode as positively charged and anode as negatively charged. Because of the presence of electrolyte, there is a chemical reaction that takes place inside a battery. So as a result, what happens is the positive charges that are present in the electrolyte move towards cathode, and the negative charges that are present inside the electrolyte move towards anode. Now, because of this, what happens is there is a potential difference between the two. That is, as I already told you, the positive charges are with high potential and the negative charges are with low potential. So, a potential difference is created. So, as soon as you connect the battery to a circuit, what you will find? You can find the electrons start flowing in a particular direction, thus causing the flow of current towards the positive terminal. Clear? So, this is how it generates electricity. Now, the direction of electron is from the negative terminal towards the positive terminal, or in other terms you can say it as from lower potential to higher potential. Whereas the direction of flow of current or conventional current, however you call it, is from positive terminal to negative terminal. So this direction explanation I have given it in previous video, so please do watch it, so you'll have a clear idea about it. Yes? Now, as soon as you connect a battery to a circuit, the electrons start moving from anode towards cathode. Okay? Or in other terms, you can say it as anode is losing electrons. So that process is nothing but oxidation. At the same time, cathode is gaining electrons. So what happened there is the positive and negative charges get neutralized. Okay? So there it is gaining electrons, and hence it is reduction process. Okay? Clear? Here oxidation process because it is losing electrons, and there is reduction process because it is gaining electrons. Clear? Now this process continues, and after a long time you could find that all the negative charges at the anode are over along with the positive charges at the cathode. So the life of a battery comes to an end. So this is how we say the electricity is provided by a battery to glow a bulb inside a torch. So based on the life of a battery, they are classified into two types. One is primary cell and another is secondary cell. A primary cell is the one that we have discussed previously, where oxidation and reduction process takes place, and when both the charges are over, we say the life of a battery comes to an end. So the oxidation or reduction process is irreversible, or the electrolyte is irreversible. Whereas in secondary cell, it is reversible. That is based on the electrolyte. It can be recharged, and that is what the use of secondary cells are. Now we will see the application of primary cells and secondary cells, so you will have a clear idea about it. Okay. So primary cells you can generally see in TV remotes, remote control toys, then wall clocks, etc., where Once its life is over, we'll throw it off, right? Whereas secondary cell, you can imagine a battery which is connected to an inverter at your home, okay? So that is a secondary cell, so that you can recharge it again once its charge is over, okay, and use it again and again. So what is the difference between two is the electrolyte used, okay? So the secondary cell is designed in such a way that its electrolyte can be recharged, that is reversible. Clear? So I think you were able to understand the concepts of battery through the session, and I hope I was able to convey my concepts clearly to you. Yes. So if you like this video, please click on the like button and share it with your friends, and please don't forget to subscribe my channel. And thank you for watching this video. Thank you for all the support given. Keep supporting. So thank you. Bye.